Now this feels like one that I am finally getting to, and I apologize for the fact that this hasn't come sooner. I have to apologize to myself for that one too. Principally because this is definitely a very important project, a very important album, and actually one that is going to, well, maybe not surprise as many people as you might think. Palms, their self-titled release. The very first album from the side project of members of ISIS and Chino from the Deftones. Now, the big situation with this album right here is that the members of ISIS didn't want to really write music that was kind of ISIS-worthy, as they called it, or stuff that they would, have used for ISIS. Instead, they kind of wanted to write some music that was a little bit independent of the band and independent of the whole idea of the band. And they got together with Chino from the Deftones, and they kind of formulated this project. Now, if you remember ISIS, you should remember ISIS, because ISIS were a tremendous, tremendous act. Then you probably recognize a little bit of the tone that you hear out of Palms, with the lone exception is that you hear a little bit more of a sonic atmosphere, a little bit more of an atmospheric exploration with Palms. And, of course, Chino's voice lends itself very nicely as well. So that combination immediately should have many, many groups of people excited about this record. If you like Chino and you don't know who ISIS is, after Palms, you'll love Chino and you'll want to get everything from ISIS. Yeah, even though this is its own independent project, once you see that these other musicians are from a band called ISIS and how capable they are, you're going to want their material. That's just all there is to it. Now, this is a 6-track affair. Now, don't be disguised by that. These are all songs that are at least 5 minutes and 45 seconds in length or longer. In fact, the longest track is a little bit over 10 minutes, and that's Mission Sunset. Mission Sunset, to me, is actually the centerpiece of this record, not to mention one of the strongest, if not the strongest track, not only on the album, but really of its kind this year. It's just such a beautiful track that is laced with so much emotion, and that mainly comes from the backdrop of the music clashing with Chino Moreno's Chino is just one of those vocalists that you cannot argue with. If you dislike his shrill kind of, harmonic whining, as some people call it, then I don't know you. I don't know what's wrong with you. And it's not because I'm a Chino fanboy, it's just because that he does this tone so well and is able to maintain harmony, not to mention maintain tone so beautifully, that it in itself is its own instrument. The voice is its own instrument, don't get me wrong, but that, his extension of notes, his oh, which I can't do because I'm ill, is something that he can extend and make its own instrument. You can call it the Chino if you want. And that was awful. I sincerely apologize for anybody who watched that. Please don't stop the video. But Mission Sunset really does this because it builds and builds and builds, like any good long song should do. And really, right whenever you hit that 9-minute mark, you get to the crescendo. And the crescendo is beautiful, and it hits you so hard that weak-minded individuals may be brought to tears. If you come into this album with a lot on your mind, there's actually a couple of occasions that you could leave with perhaps the resonance of a tear that is appearing by your eye. But I'm not saying that I'm not mentioning just Mission Sunset because it's the only song that I like on this record. Future Warrior is fantastic. Antarctic Handshake is tremendous. Another song that eclipses 9 minutes in length. Shortwave Radio is a very cool little... Everything, like all 6 tracks really have just their own individual and unique characteristics to them. And that's the one aspect about this side project that's pretty cool. In the fact that Chino and these guys were just able to put together something pretty awesome, And I really enjoy the fact that while there is, little hints of both of their main bands, while there are little hints of the Deftones and little hints of ISIS, Palms feels individualized. It feels like Palms. Because it is Palms. By Palms. Palms. I wish I had a palm tree. I would just show that and say Palms, but I'm going to give this an 8 out of 10. It's beautiful. It's a beautiful record. It's definitely one that, with repeated listens, you grow to love even more. I immediately think of bands such as Yindi Halda. And if you guys don't know who that is, please do look them up. YNDI space HALDA. And I really have nothing else to say about this, but just, it's beautiful. Please, give this a shot. I know that, you know, sometimes you look at names and you think, who the fuck is that? This is one to actually take out and read who's in this. You know, read who's a part of this. Because the minute that you see Isis or Chino Marino, whichever side of this equation you're on, you're going to want this because you know it's going to be good. And I'm here to tell you, you don't have to think or know, it is. I'll see you.